Okay, hi everyone, back with another Escabur Cornerstone arc episode. We left off. Narf Stencil just left the residence of Dr. House, and they're going to look or follow, I should say, Jewel, who is from Emberstock. She left not too long ago, and Narf believes, based on the chat with Dr. House, that she is on her way to speak to a business owner named Gregory Fine. Gregory Fine is a potion shop owner. At the same time, there is a assassin from Emerstock nearby in the distance. So, I'm going to call for a perception roll. Mainly from Narf. Stencil's probably not that type of person. Okay. I think Stencil is a bookkeeper compared to a adventurer or someone who's seasoned in combat. So, let's go ahead and do our first perception roll. I will start a new line here. And we will say that Narf perception roll. I'd say the DC will probably be 15. You know what? Actually, let's have it be up there. Let's say 18, because I want this assassin of Emberstock to be quite a ways out, perhaps on a rooftop or in the shadows somewhere in an alleyway. This assassin has been tailing them, perhaps since Larien's residence, as they were dealing with those other Emberstock assassins. So let's roll a d20 and see how they do. Perception's a +3 on this one. 18 or more? Nope, 6. Okay, so fail. Arf does not notice the assassin. Stock. Now this guy is going to be, obviously, somewhere in the distance. But he's tailing them. He's not going to jump out and attack. I think his sole purpose is to simply gather data and analyze their motives, see who they are, and why they have been causing trouble. So the assassin most likely knows that this big guy and this short, skinny dude are, from a distance, are obviously either friends of Larian or interveners somehow. That's obvious. So Narf and Stencil are unaware of this guy's presence, and they're going to make their way, I think, to Gregory Fine's store, perhaps. Or I was pondering about having them go back to the Fury Forge club, because remember, that's where Narf allowed Stencil to stay for the night, because Stencil is, I think he's on the hit list. I believe he is. Anyways, he is obviously being targeted or hunted by these assassins. And so that's why Stencil's kind of hanging around Narf for protection for now, until they can find Loren, or at least her whereabouts. So let's say that I think at this point, Narf is confident he's going to question or go speak to Gregory Fine. So let me get our cards out, which is my little deck of Oracle cards. I just have it off to the side here, so that once I draw them, you guys can see it. Okay, I'll have that just kind of on the side here, and then I'll move this over here. There we go. So Narf and Stencil go to the store of Gregory Fine. Let's bold that. And we're going to draw a card. This card will represent how the little traveling went. How it went. So, apparently, there is a wedding happening. A marriage. So, this actually could be something. Now, I think, obviously, it's not going to be Narf or Larien or Narf or even Stencil, if you want to go down that route. But I think this marriage is just a wedding that's happening off to the side. Perhaps it's on the streets of Cornerstone. So let's just say it's kind of in the background. And I have a idea with this one. I have an idea. So there is a wedding that is happening on the streets of Cornerstone. It's loud, joyful, many people walking about. With that in mind, guess who's going to go jump in? The assassin. Okay. Now the assassin will attempt to either... No, you know what? Maybe the assassin loses... Maybe he loses a sight of Narf. So this marriage, this little wedding going on, probably causes a problem. And because there's so many people in the way, that the assassin, the tracker, loses sight of our team. So, let's say the assassin loses sight of Narf and Stencil. In the crowd, it's just something that he did not expect. And he's trying to kind of weave his way through. So, at that point, I feel like drawing another card. Let's see what happens. This music is not exactly... You know what? I'm going to change the music. 1 second, guys. That music was too much as if like we're in a tavern. We're clearly out and about. So let's draw a card. So perhaps I'm not using my Magic Gathering cards. Alright, let's see what happens next. While he is making his way, weaving through the crowd, trying to run or jog ever so swiftly, knowledge. This could be something for our character Darth. This is going to be this is instinctive for him. So this is music I definitely wanted for this scene specifically. So I'm going to keep this card close by. Knowledge. So let me do this. Knowledge. I think Narf just has a strange feeling that he's being followed. And he pauses. So Narf has a suspicion, I respell that he is being followed. He pauses, looks back at the crowd, and this will be another perception roll, or perhaps investigation. I think it might be investigation. Let's see here. She allows you to find obscure information in the books. No, that doesn't exactly fit. Perception. Alright, let's do another perception roll. So, DC, because he just has this instinct, this intuition, I'm going to lower the DC just a bit. And he's focusing on the crowd, he's looking back, he just has a strange feeling that he's being followed. Let's do DC 12. So, be a perception roll of 12. Oh my gosh, you're be kidding me. 6. Alright. Well, he surely failed in that category. Again, I think 3 was our last result, too. Damn. So he just can't see it. There's too many bodies in the way. So he's right. His instincts are correct, but visually, he does not see anybody that's out of the usual, out of what is to be expected of a wedding, or a crowd of commoners. So he doesn't see like a strange invisible cloak that's like following, kind of waving through the crowd. He just sees people smiling and happy and joyful, talking amongst themselves, perhaps with some drinks. There is some bards playing music on the side. So he doesn't see anything. Alright. He doesn't see the assassin. Also can mean that the assassin perhaps got rerouted, or he got diverted away, or what the word is. He got sidetracked or something. He pulled away. So I think maybe Narf and Stencil inadvertently lost him. And so the assassin lost track of Narf. At the same time, Narf doesn't see anybody unusual. Now, maybe Stencil is wondering what's wrong. So Stencil inquires about what's going on. Narf says he had a feeling that he was they were being followed for a moment, and it's not uncommon to think that because of what was happening earlier. Stencil says, "Do you think it's maybe one of the assassins from earlier?" And Narf is thinking that's probably why he is just cautious at the moment, or what he expects. So I think Stencil's going to look around a bit, just himself, while he's talking with Narf. And let's do a perception check for Stencil. Now, we don't have a character sheet for Stencil. He is a NPC. He has no stats. So what I'll do is just roll... Basically, I'm trying to say that he doesn't have a bonus or modifiers. I'm going to do a flat... let's do DC. I'll have Stencil do this. Perception check. The DC will be... yeah, I think 18 again. 15 or 18. Let's say 15. And we'll just do... Whoops. We'll just do a... what was that? Oh, that was my background. Sorry, guys. I'm like, why did my screen just do that? So, let's do a flat D20 roll. We're going for 15 or more. Okay, he got it. Alright, so roll of 17. Stencil notices a cloaked individual kind of like spring from the corner, but into the alleyway. Or like down under the path. He quickly notices, or I should say briefly notices, a robed or a cloaked individual spring from the corner into another pathway. Not an alleyway, a pathway. Stencil catches it. He mentions to Narf that he just saw someone dressed familiar, similar to what they've encountered before, going into the pathway. So Narf kind of smirks and says, looks like someone is following us. And so Stencil says, what should we do? Narf is looking around. He's just examining his surroundings. And let's do his perception roll. What can he spot? Let's do a, so, searching, surroundings, DC. Just to do, we'll do a basic 15 perception, and the roll of 15 or more. Let me guess, 3. So, the NPC has no character sheet, gets the roll, while Narf, who is a character, a seasoned veteran criminal bodyguard, gets another 3 or less roll. Make that make sense. Wow. Okay. Anyways. He's looking around. There's too much noise. He's getting distracted. He says we should continue on, or at least follow. I don't know. It's really up to Narf here. Narf is thinking that we can follow the individual that Stencil supposedly saw, but maybe Narf doesn't believe in. I mean, Narf has no reason to doubt him, does he? I don't know. This is a tough one. Because if the assassin bolted away, or just, again, he's going down a path that he thinks that Narf and Stencil went. Narf and Stencil probably just, again, the assassin lost track. I don't know, this is a hard one, guys. I wish it was like live so you guys can pitch in and be like, you know what, actually, let's do this. So, I'll just roll a dice here. When in doubt, roll for it. So, I will do a D100, and a 50% chance that, so 50 or less, that Narf will follow the assassin. At least where Stencil pointed at. 50 or less. That's an extreme yes. Okay. Narf is unable to find anything helpful, but says they will go after the assassin. Okay, so they kind of turn around and go in the direction at an angle where they saw this this Ember Stock Assassin, supposedly Ember Stock Assassin. Someone's tailing them, obviously. And they go through a pathway. Obviously, the crowd lightens a bit. There's less people on this path. It's a cobblestone path. It's not an alleyway. It's just a kind of a tighter path that kind of weaves down a hillside a bit. And the homes are getting a little smaller and smaller. And we have to basically roll to see if we can keep up with this guy. Let's see what happens when they go. I'm going to draw a card here. Let's see what happens when they enter this pathway. And I picked Judgment. Okay, so basically what this means is that they do get ambushed. Now, for an ambush to happen, I'm going to put a little note here. Ambushed. But can we avoid being ambushed, or at least caught off guard? What would this be? Would it be dexterity? Would this be insight, perhaps? Let's check insight here. Discern. No, that's not going to be it. That's just basically survival, sleight of hand. I think. Might be a saving throw, actually. I'm going to do a saving throw. And we'll have the DC of 15. Saving throw. This would be Dex. Roll of. Let's do the roll. I'll give the +1 for the NPC assist. So +3 on this roll. Going for. I want to take my computer and throw it out the window at the moment. That's another failed roll. That's 5. What the beep? Man, I swear. Jeez. Okay. Bad luck. There is the D&D Beyond gremlins are messing with our dice. Our digital dice. Anyways. Well, Narf and Stencil get ambushed by 1d4 assassins. 1. Okay, it is just the one there they were following. So, ambushed by the same... Whoops. By the same... I cannot type today. The same assassin. Now, this assassin... Is he actually the Ember Stock Assassin? I have a... Perhaps he's not. I have a backup option if he's not. Let's roll a dice. D100. So, 75% chance he is an Ember Stock Assassin. Yeah, he is. Okay, there's no doubt about it. Okay. He is a Ember Stock Assassin. Narf, remember, I got a little reminder here. Narf does not know these assassins are from Ember Stock. They are, to him, just a bunch of bad guys. So let's indent that back there. Okay. Which means this guy jumps out from the corner and attacks them with his weapon of choice. So we are going to be in an encounter here shortly. But we got to do the first attack on us. Our AC is 14. So this guy's going to roll his d20 for attack. See what happens. 6. That's a fail. Okay, so it hits off. He tries to lunge at Narth with his dagger, but fails. Okay, we're in combat. We have... Let me take a look at this one here. We have the assassin. Let's say his AC is... let's do 12... Yeah, I think it's 12 is good for an assassin. His damage die is going to be his attack die, basically. What is ours? Let's do a slight comparison to level out the playing field between these two participants. So I don't think Stencil's going to attack. He has no real skill for that. Inventory, we got to equip ourselves here. I'm going to allow him to equip before the combat even takes place. He has a great axe. That is a 1d12. That's a hell of a weapon. With dagger. And armor. I don't see anything on our armor. I'm surprised I didn't give any armor to our character. Nothing. No armor whatsoever. Okay, he just has clothing on. That is interesting. I guess that's just how I built the character out to be. I thought I had armor on before I changed the D&D 5. You know what? Let's give him some armor. I'm going to cheat here, and we will manage the inventory. Let's see. We have armor. Nothing crazy. So let's just do leather or padded, perhaps. So much just padded. AC 11. 11. It goes to 11. We have hide. Let's do hide. Alright. That bumps us up, I think, to nothing at all. Alright, so 14 is basically his base armor. Well, shoot. Let's try again. Let's see. Probably could pause the video, but you know what? A little too late now. Chainmail, breastplate, 14. Heavy armor, medium armor. I mean, don't want to cheat that much given chainmail. Rainmail? How much would that be? Let's see. Nothing. Okay, you know what? My apologies, guys. I'm going to just... No armor for now. We left it at home. Okay. Barbarian. Oh, you know, Barbarian, right. Okay, I will... Let's just keep going before I delay this even more. His weapon of choice is the Great Axe, so that means he has an attack of 1d12. I'm going to say this guy has a dagger. Damage dagger of... what would be a dagger typically at? D6, I think? 1d4 plus 2. Okay, that's not too much, but it's something. 1d4 plus 2. Okay. Alright, let's roll for initiative. So, Stencil's not taking part. It's going to be initiative here. We'll do our initiative roll. Abilities. Plus 4. Not bad. Okay. 17. So, Narf. Here's a 17 initiative. And then the assassin has a roll initiative of the following. D20 roll. Oh my gosh. This game is working. This episode is working against poor Narf. Critical. So that means the assassin will get to roll 2 D4 plus 2. Okay, so let's move him up to the top here. There we go. Okay. Yikes. Oh, his health. We need to set his health up too. His HP will be, let's say we're at 14. Let's say 6. HP of 6. Okay. That works. So he goes first. He attacks with 2d4 plus 2. Here we go. Oh, I forgot this is not Karen. I need to roll for damage. Okay. That's a miss. Okay, so back to Narf. Narf is going to attack with his weapon of choice. And let's see what happens. He gets a critical! Holy crap. Critical. Okay, so that's going to be... Oh, 13 damage! Oh my gosh. Okay, so that was quick battle. That's a crit. No! Yes, that is. So, that's right. Okay. Wow, that was quick. Probably too quick. I probably should let the guy roll for attack advantage. Sorry, let's do that. No, that doesn't seem right. So, let's do 2d20s for the assassin. Let's take a step back. He's going to attack. We'll take advantage. We'll let him roll the highest. 16. Okay, so he does land a hit. And then he's going to roll 2d4 against our character. 2. Okay. So, again, I gave him the shot. There we go. Okay, now our character We'll attack. Roll for attack against the assassin, and that's a fail. Back to the assassin. He rolls for attack. Standard roll. That's a fail. Back to Narf. Narf's going to attack. Oh, plus, I forgot to add the +4. That's an unnatural 20. So we get to roll for slashing. That was a hit. 6 damage total, and that kills him. So he is down. Okay. Let's get back to our counter here. And let's see, restart numbering. That's going to be, I think, 128. Oh, that's 129. Okay, 129. Alright, so Narf defeats the assassin. Apparently this pathway is quiet enough for no one to notice. And let's see. So this assassin attacks out in broad daylight. It must be an alleyway, because that does not make sense in the story if this guy just jumps up and attacks. So let's say it is an alleyway, so I'm going to correct myself from the beginning. Let's see, alleyway. Narf is going to investigate this individual, see what he has on him. Let's go to our skills here. And we'll investigate, see what he finds. I'll do, let's see, investigate. DC. Let's do 10, because the guy's right there. Searching the assassin. Okay, 6. So, actually, you know what? No, scratch that. I'm going to give it to him. He's been rolling so terribly today, I don't think it's really worth a roll just to pick through his pockets. So, my mistake. He finds this oracle card, whatever this will be, and oh my gosh, journey. For a second, I thought I said journal, but journey. So it's a map. So the last guy had a hit list. This guy has a map of targets in the Cornerstone area. And let's ask the question: does this map have any identifiable markings that links them back to Cornerstone or to Emberstock? Unlikely. Remember, the last guy did the cyanide pill, so I think 10% chance, very, very minimal, that there's any markings. You never know, though. Nope, there's not. Okay, so the map has no markings. Map has no other markings of Emberstock connections. Okay, so he's going to obviously pocket the map, or stencil. He shows the map to Stencil, and Stencil's kind of like flabbergasted by it. He's, oh my gosh. And the map has a bunch of X's on it. And it shows some, let's see, there's some notes, like chicken scratch. Can't remember exactly. Now, let's investigate that. So, Stencil's a smart guy, I'm assuming. He investigates the notes written. Right, and the notes say... Whoops. There we go. Okay, this will be a simple investigation roll. This is for Stencil, so we can use our character sheet. 6. I didn't really put a DC, but you know what? If we just assume the DC was 10, that's a fail. So, Stencil does not... doesn't recognize the handwriting. It's in code. It's in code, obviously. So I need to jump this back here. It's in some kind of code. That's what he assumes. The music playing right now kind of sounds like Super Smash Brothers Melee, which was the very last one I played. I didn't play any of the Wii U ones beyond that. That's what kind of sounds like, the one from GameCube. Okay, which is stupendous. Love it. Okay, so Stencil does not recognize any of the handwriting. It's in some kind of code, he believes. That's when Narf is like, I got it. They're going to take it back to the forge. and see if anybody, his buddies, recognize the writing. So Narv has the great idea of taking this to the forge, asking any of his buddies if they recognize the writing. So, Narf pockets the map. They hide the body, just they put in a barrel somewhere and top it off, and that's it. So, they leave the alleyway to the forge. The wedding is kind of tampering down, not really, it's kind of moving along the path. So, let's add that map to our inventory. Inventory here. We're going to do a map. It's going to be add item, map. There it is. Equipment, backpack. We'll do that. Alright, that's in our backpack. Map. Customize. Alright, so, map of assassins targets. Has a bunch of X marks on a map of Cornerstone, and then some unknown writing in code. Okay, there we go. That's it. That's all I'm going to do for this episode, guys. Roughly half an hour as expected. That was quite eventful. Hope you guys enjoyed. We had a very brief encounter. A little rusty of the encounters in D&D. It's been a while. But nevertheless, typically I keep them, they're simplified. I don't do it very much narration, or I don't make them cinematic. I could, and probably should, but fairly quick. So we dealt with one assassin, and these notes are definitely adding up. I don't think we missed anything in terms of updating other character sheets. Don't think so. For stencil. Stencil's the thing is a picture. I'm going to make a picture next time. Oh yeah, I have a picture for... That's Jewel, FYI. I don't think I showed that to you guys, but that's Jewel from earlier. And Gregory Pine, if we get to him, he will have the picture moments into his his screen time. So, thank you for watching as always, and I'll see you next time.